Well, Chelsea are finishing the season strongly and are targeting a European place now. Mauricio Pochettino has been asked about his future today, and Gary Cottrell was there for us. Gary, reasons to feel positive for Mauricio Pochettino. Did that come across today? What was the mood like at Cobham?
Well, largely it was a very good mood. It's a beautiful day down here at the Chelsea training ground, and beautiful was mentioned in the news conference because obviously Todd Boehly has used the word beautiful in LA this week to describe Chelsea's last couple of performances. The wins against West Ham, the win against Tottenham, the second half against Aston Villa. When I put the fact that Todd Boehly thought that those last 2.5 performances were beautiful, Pochettino burst into laughter. He thought the phrase 2.5 performances was very funny. Also beautiful, of course, is Cole Palmer at the moment. He's just won Player of the Month. He's on the shortlist, 2 shortlists for Player of the Season and Young Player of the Season. He just swept the boards at the Chelsea Player Awards as well. Beautiful too, the injury list. Mauricio Pochettino again having a laugh when talking about the injury list. He said they're into single figures for the first time just as the season comes to an end. So he saw the irony of that. But perhaps less beautiful was his comments about this meeting that they're scheduled to have, him, the sporting directors, potentially as well the owners, at the end of the season, just to discuss next season. He says they're having meetings all the time and his future isn't on the agenda, but he accepts anything could happen.
The most important thing is to keep going working if we are all happy. Not only the owners happy with us or the sporting director with us, or us with all the organization that the club is building here, because of then we are all under assessment. You know, if we are happy, perfect. But it's not only if the owners are happy or the sporting director are happy. We are happy. You need to ask also, because maybe we said, look, maybe we are not happy, and then we assess the situation, and maybe we are not happy and we need to split. You know, but it's not going to be the first time that a coaching staff decide on the end of the season not to keep going. But understand that always is in the way, the opposite way. You know, that always is the owners or the sporting director.
Well, at one point it looked pretty bleak for Chelsea, didn't it, Gary? But still plenty to play for this season, isn't there?
Yeah, interesting, wasn't it, that answer? Left us all guessing a little bit about his future, but certainly if they can carry on the run that they're on at the moment, it's going to be a lot more clear that the club would want him to stay, because obviously last 2 games at home, 7 goals, 6 points against London rivals. They play Nottingham Forest on Saturday night football. If they win that game and other results go their way, Chelsea will be in 6th position in the Premier League, which obviously isn't what they're used to historically, but given this season where they've been, that is nosebleed time, isn't it, being that high up the table, and a chance of playing in Europe. And Mauricio Pochettino says playing in Europe will be very important for Chelsea next season.
Always achieve something like this is important for any single club, and after all the circumstances and the reality that we were living in this season, I think it's an objective that is there. It's true that it's going to be hard to get, but the most important now is to think and to repeat our performance the last few weeks against Nottingham Forest, and not to think too much. It's only to repeat and replicate the same way to play, the approach of the game, being focused. And of course, we know very well that in case to win games, the last three games, we will have, you know, the possibility to go to move to a place that can allow us to play in Europe next season.
A week to go, 3 games to go. Reece James is back in full training and potentially available for selection for that Nottingham Forest game, although Mauricio Pochettino suggests he may not play too many minutes between now and the end of the season, but it's so important having him back as part of the squad because of his character, his leadership, and of course he's the club captain as well.